Welcome, everyone, to Task Arena. Time for Hobbs Eagle basketball. Live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, the YouTube Hobbs Sports page, and on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty Friend and Ron with you tonight. Also, Max back at the station as the Hobbs Eagles take on the Clovis Wildcats for the semifinals of the district tournament. A home game for the Eagles. And Ron, very important game for Hobbs. They want to make it to the championship game on Saturday against Carlsbad, a team they've lost to twice. But at the same time, this has a lot of playoff implications, too. With a loss here, that could probably drop them down near the bottom of the 16 teams that make it to the state tournament. With the win and going on to that district tournament championship Saturday, I think it keeps you probably between 10 and 12 maybe in terms of the seeding. Of course, that's just speculation at this point. Hobbs currently been sitting around 12 the last couple of weeks. But still, very important game. The Eagles coming off the loss at Carlsbad to finish up the regular season. Of course, the Cavemen are now the regular season champs. But I think this is kind of a wake-up call for the Eagles. They don't want to lose this one at home, and at the same time, they know Clovis upset Roswell this past week.
And, you know, I thought they could do it the time before against Roswell, too. It was a tight game. Clovis actually had a chance to win it, but just couldn't pull it off the trigger. And this time around, it's the same thing. You know, we talk about the fact that Eagles are good at home, and they are very good as far as the other districts. They beat Clovis twice by about 22 points and 18 points, respectively. But you know what? This Clovis team has nothing to lose. I mean, if they lose, they're most likely not going to win. Even if they do win, get into the playoffs. So they got nothing to lose. They're going to play at full force and give Eagles everything they got. And don't expect anything less than that from the Clovis Wildcats. Meanwhile, Hobbs needs to rely on more than just Mackey, and I'm hoping to see a few others step up, be able to fill that role, and also be able to get keep the lead for the Hobbs Eagles throughout this game. It's going to be a tight one. I know it is.
Of course, the game with Carlsbad, low-scoring affair in that one, 49-32. Eagles losing by 17 in that one. But they really held Damian Perez down to some low numbers on the season, just 10 points in that game. He had that, 9 3-pointers against the Eagles here at Task Arena. So Hobbs kind of turned the screws a little bit. Offensively, not getting too much accomplished, though, with Michael Mackey leading scorer with 18, Abraham Paney with 10, and everybody else with 2 points, a couple of their guys scoring. And not the offensive production you want to see. We should say, though, that Carlsbad was only giving up 43 points a ball game in terms of their defense. So right. Hobbs not getting even close to that mark, but still tough D for Carlsbad. But good job shutting down Perez in that game.
Oh, yeah, definitely it was. And that was one of the goals, I thought anyway, was if you close down Perez, then you close down Carlsbad. Unfortunately, though, you know, they had other people that stepped up and were able to go. Plus, there was times when Hobbs just could not find their mark on the hoop from the first and the fourth. I think those were their two major bugaboos as far as getting the basket in. And, of course, once they got after the third quarter, it was just all Carlsbad. They had a 10-0 run. That didn't help Hobbs at all. And they need to have that kind of run in order to get this Clovis team, because in Roswell's game just the other day, they had a 10-0 run, and they stopped Roswell from scoring for more than it was just 4 minutes. And that was just enough to get the victory the other night for the Clovis Wildcats.
And in the Carlsbad game, talking about free throws, not a lot of opportunities for either team. Hobbs was 5 of 9 for 55%, and Carlsbad 7 of 8 for 87. So didn't get a lot of freebies on the line. Had to get it the hard way, and both teams with low scoring in that contest. Hobbs with just 11 turnovers. That's about 6 below their average on the games this year. And Carlsbad did a better job holding the ball. They only had 8 turnovers, so pretty clean game. Not a lot of fouls, not a lot of turnovers in that contest, but, of course, still a loss for the Eagles. That's why they're playing tonight against this Clovis Wildcats squad. You mentioned they had the Roswell matchup just this past week back on Tuesday night. The upset for Clovis, 79-75. I was very kind of scratching my head. 21 3-pointers converted in that game, 11 for Roswell in a losing cause, and 10 for the Clovis Wildcats. Clovis has only hit 6 trays against Hobbs in their 2 games so far. Hobbs has had 12. So I didn't think they were going to be shooting much from the outside, but they did, 10 of them against the Roswell Coyotes. Roswell led most of that game. It was tied at the first quarter, though, 24-all. Roswell went up by 6 at halftime, extended to 7 at the end of third, but the Clovis with a 10-point differential in the fourth to pull out the victory, or actually 11 points more than Roswell in the fourth, and ended up winning 79-75. So definitely got to watch out. Clovis looks like they're going to start shooting the trays a little bit more. Khalil Torres-Pierre had 3 trays in that game. He definitely was shooting the lights out, and several other guys stepping up from 3-point range. Cox had 3. 3. Jones 2, Levenshone, Nora 2, Gutierrez also put one down for Clovis. So lots of guys stepping up with the trays. Hobbs is definitely going to get the hands in the face of this Clovis squad. Hey, they've got nothing to lose. The Wildcats more than likely will not be making the state tournament, so this is their last hurrah to try to win the district tournament.
Exactly, and one of the main features of the Clovis Wildcats was Champ Gordon. He was 22 points. He was 8 from 10 from the field and 6 of 8 from free throws. And also we had Levenshon, who had 8 points. Jaden Cox, who had 9 points, as you mentioned, 3 of 6 from the three-point range. All those threes were raining from the first quarter, first half, that was. And it was on both sides. It was a back and forth three for all for both teams. They would just go back and forth, make a three, and they were actually really accurate about it. Very little rebounding going on. Even R.J. Nora had 17 points, had 3 of 5 from three-point range, and did really well. Had a field goal or had a free throw in the fourth quarter. Actually, all his free throws were in the fourth quarter. That helped raise the scoring as far as Clovis went. Got past Roswell and won that game pretty easily, or at least it seemed like it was pretty easily. They had very little problems as far as fouling. So there will be no. I mean, as far as last game, if it continues on with this game, Clovis will not have foul problems. Hobbs, on the other hand, has been historically known to have foul problems, and they need to stay out of that because they don't want to have Clovis on the line getting those free extra shots.
Of course, these two teams have played twice. Eagles winning 74-56 in the first one by 18 and 20 in the last one here at Task Arena, 88-68. So major domination both of those games. In terms of point production, averaging on the season between the two contests, leading for Clovis, Champ Gooden averaging 12.5 points against the Eagles in 2 games. Other than that, not a lot of guys are really getting tons of points so far. Also, Marvin Cox has put in a couple of good games for his squad as well. In fact, he's averaging 21. So those two guys combining for 33 points a contest between Gooden and Marvin Cox. Marvin Cox also leading on rebounds, 7.5 against the Eagles per game. Gooden averaging 4 a game. So those two guys leading in both of those two categories as we speak. In terms of the Hobbs Eagles, of course, Michael Mackey broke the school record with 3-point production in that game 2, 88-68. He had 51 in that game. He is averaging 40.5 against Clovis this season. Definitely taking care of business and putting a lot of points down. He had 51 in that second game and 30 on the road in Clovis. So well and above everybody else on the Eagles scoring. Abraham Pena, he's averaging 19 a game. He had 19 in both contests previous to this one tonight. And Braylon Vega, the freshman, he is averaging 9 points against the Wildcats. He's not starting tonight, but definitely can shoot it from the outside for the Eagles. In terms of the comparisons on these two teams this season in the 2 games, Clovis has shot 48% from the field, and Hobbs has shot 54%, so doing about 6% better from the outside. Hobbs has out-rebounded Clovis 60-44. That's about an average of 30 per game versus 22 for Clovis. 3-point shots definitely an advantage for the Eagles. They've hit 12 for 44%, and Clovis has only hit 6 for 22%. So Eagles doubling up in terms of numbers there. And free throws, the only advantage for Clovis so far, they shot 68.9% in 2 games. Hobbs against them at 52.6%. So those are kind of the numbers you're looking at. In terms of the different scoring in each of the quarters, Hobbs has outscored Clovis by 13 in the first quarter, 17 in the second. Fourth quarter, they've outscored the Wildcats by 14. The only one in the hands of Clovis, though, is the third quarter, where they've outscored the Eagles by 6. So Hobbs definitely needs to come out of the chutes after halftime, no matter what the situation might be on the scoreboard.
Yeah, definitely, because they need to be able to keep the momentum going. Somehow, for some reason, on a lot of their games that they've lost, they've eked it out in the first 2 quarters, gotten back strong in the third quarter, but by the end of the third quarter, they're losing their momentum, and by the fourth quarter, they've lost it altogether. They're struggling to get back into it, and unfortunately, sometimes they make mistakes. They are a young team, and that does happen from time to time. Even with all the experience they've had, you still sometimes you fall on your old habits or your bad habits, and that is unfortunate. This game, this is a 6-game winning streak for Hobbs.
Getting ready for the national anthem here at Task Arena. Hobbs versus Clovis, semifinals of the district tournament next on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on Facebook. We're back live here at Task Arena. Ty friend Ron Gunner and Max back at the station. Your Hobbs Eagles and Clovis Wildcats battling it out. Semifinals of the district tournament. Wildcats at 11-15 overall. They were 0-6 in district and, of course, got the upset win over Roswell in the first round of the tournament. Your Hobbs Eagles at 14-12. They were 4-2 in the district and their first game of the tournament. The starters for Clovis will be Manuel Gutierrez, as Gutierrez comes in averaging 4.2 points a game and leader in assists as well at 2.4. Champ Gooden, he's one of the best scorers against the Eagles in this season, so far averaging 11 points a contest. He's also at 6.5 rebounds a game, which is second on the squad. Marvin Cox, who's had the best scoring effort against the Eagles so far at 17 points a game. In terms of the season, is at now 8.2, so done a lot better than Clovis than he has against his opponents so far, but he is a leading rebounder for the Wildcats at 7.4 a contest. R.J. Nora, the forward, averaging 6 points a game. He is fourth on the team in rebounding at 4.6 and first in steals at 1.8. And last but not least, the other starter for the Clovis Wildcats is J.J. Jones, the forward. He's got 6'4" frame out there as well. Definitely's got some size. He's averaging 5.3 a game and is averaging 2.2 rebounds a contest. The Wildcats are shooting 42% from the field, only 24% from three-point range, and 55% from the charity stripe. For your Hobbs Eagles, of course, Michael Mackey, the leading scorer in the state of New Mexico. He is the leader in points at 23.5 a game. Number one in rebounds for the Eagles at 6 a contest. 2.5 assists is best as well, and 2.3 steals, number one for Hobbs too. So he's the leader in 4 different categories offensively and defensively for the Hobbs Eagles. Also starting for Hobbs tonight in his second time with the uniform on to start it, Nick Pena. This is only his 8th game of the season, so only averaging 0.3 points a game, but definitely getting some more time as the season progresses. Abraham Pena, the point guard for the Eagles. He's second leading scorer at 12.8 a game. He's also second in assists at 2.4. Jordan Chisholm, one of the post players for the Eagles at 6'1", comes into the game averaging 4.2 points a game, second in rebounding at 3.1. And last but not least, another post player for Hobbs, Chris Archibek, the senior. He's averaging 3.2 points a game and 3 rebounds a contest. The Eagles are shooting 46% from the field, 33% from the three-point arc, which is about 9% better than the Wildcats, and 64% from the free throw line, which is 9% better than the Wildcats there. Eagles are averaging 7.8 steals a game and turnovers at 17.5, so almost 10 more turnovers a contest. Those numbers got to come down a little bit, Ron, as we head throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, but I also see the fact that there'll be many turnovers on both sides in this game. It's going to be a fast-paced action. Hobbs needs to go ahead and do a little more pressing than they have been in the past. They also need to make sure they get the rebounds and get some good shots. I think if they do that, they're going to have a good chance of getting this victory over the Clovis Wildcats.
Clovis on the court first, wearing their black uniforms and white numbers on black. And coming up for the Hobbs Eagles, the white uniforms, black numbers, and gold trim. Again, 14-12 for the Eagles and 11-15 for Coach Maddox and the Wildcats. Coach Shelby Reeves wearing the black jacket tonight. He's got Coach Ross right next to him right now, and Coach Story as well. As we're ready for some action, going to be Michael Mackey, who's been jumping all season, going up against Marvin Cox, who's had some good battles against Hobbs so far in the 2 games prior. Leading scorer for the Wildcats, and of course Mackey for the Eagles. Tip into the front court for the Eagles. They'll have the first possession. On the right wing is Nick Pena. Dribbles up top, back out towards the timeline. Just underway here in the first quarter at Tasker. Looking for some rotation, unloads the ball to Pena on the left wing. Mackey gets a screen, comes up top off the dribble, backs out outside the perimeter, gives to Mackey left elbow, shot on the way for the J, rolls around the rim, no good. Pulled down the middle of the paint for Clovis by Marvin Cox, his first. Outlet near sideline, no look pass Gutierrez, picked away from Mackey at the timeline, goes to the rack left side, a finger roll for the score. First points of the ball game, first turnover for the Wildcats. 2-0 early here for the Eagles. Dish across the time on a high one, pulled down on the far right side for J.J. Jones. Goes corner, spin move, kicks out left wing to Jones. Takes a few stumble steps before passing off up top and gets the travel. Already Clovis suffering 2 turnovers, Ron, early.
Yeah, that's what happens when you think about the 3 too long and then you try to move the ball without bouncing it first. Yeah, you get a travel.
Eagles leading 2-0 here early in the first quarter. As Pena will bring it across and finds Pena on the left wing. I got to deal with Pena and Pena tonight. Don't always start together. Pena to the free throw line. Kick it left to Mackey. Return to Pena, top of the circle. Stepping out on him with the hand in the face, R.J. Nora gets a screen up top. Bump from Chisholm over to left wing to Pena, drives right elbow, back to Mackey right side, NBA three at the hand in the face, hits hard at the back of the rim, top of the backboard, and pulled down for the Wildcats on the left block by Cox, his second rebound. Outlet to the near sideline, Gutierrez to bring it across, top of the circle. He'll back it out to try to get some offense going. Dribbles right and hands it off to Nora, or make that Jones down at the timeline. Comes back right in the zigzag as he hands off to Jones. Top of the circle off the dribble, backs out, spin move, kick it right to Jones. Up top to Cox, to the left wing, touch pass to the corner, and a few dribbles on the near sideline in front of the student section for Champ Gooden. Up top to a wide open Gutierrez for three, off the side of the rim left, no good. And crashing over the top for the rebound, getting a foul, Champ Gooden over the top of Mackey that time. That's Gooden's first personal, first team foul, and the first rebound for Michael Mackey.
And that's good for Hobbs. You want to see Champ in foul trouble early on, and that is a good way to start it.
Hobbs basketball leading 2-0 here in the semifinals of the district tournament. Saturday's a championship against Carlsbad. Pena hand off to Mackey, front court left, down to Pena, left baseline, gets bumped, and they're going to get the foul call there. Slid into the baseline, did Pena that time, off a hip check for Manuel Gutierrez. Gutierrez will pick up his first personal, second Wildcat team foul. So they got all the negative categories right now. Fouls 2, turnovers 2. Eagles with a blank card in both of those so far. Eagle basketball on the right baseline. It will be Pena to inbound. Looking for some help, having some trouble getting it in, and they're going to get the 5-second violation on that one. They'll go the other direction now. First turnover for the Eagles.
Hobbs doesn't get caught with that one very often, and when it does, it's major at times.
A 2-1-2 full court trap for the Eagles. The pass comes to the near sideline for Nora. Bounces it back deep. On the pivot is Jones. Throws it across the timeline, spinning with it, Nora, and returns it back to the timeline. Jab step for Jones, back to Nora on the left wing. Coming up on Deke, pretty close. Pena, an errant throw to the far right sideline, cross court. A ghost at the scorer's table, catching that one out of bounds. That'll be the third Wildcat turnover. Not a lot of offensive possessions in scoring position yet, Ron.
Yeah, and just several unforced errors done by Clovis so far, not looking as sharp as they did against Roswell.
Pena will come across the timeline off the dribble from the inbound. Waiting for a screen from Chisholm. Gets it, doesn't use it, backs it out. Instead, kick it up top to Archibald. Holds the basketball. His defender backs way off to the free throw line. Does Cox up top to Mackey. Swing it left side to Chisholm. Chisholm with a jab step. Finds Pena on the left wing. Stop and go to the free throw line. Kick it right to Archibald. Fires up an NBA three off the back of the rim. Loose at the free throw line. Pulled down by Gutierrez for the Wildcats. Sends it ahead to a breaking Wildcat down the lane. Tries to go up with a shot put action. Champ Gooden gets tied up in the middle of the air. And the jump ball call there. Fans were starting to boo, think it was going to be a foul call. Instead, they get the jump. That'll be Clovis basketball.
I thought if anything else, it would have been a walk.
Inbounding will be Gutierrez underneath the hoop. Gets it in right corner to Gooden. Bounce it back to the right wing. Now up top off the dribbles, J.J. Jones. Swing it to the left side to Marvin Cox. Kick it back up top to Gutierrez. Back to the right. Pivoting with the basketball is Gooden. Sends it to the right block, a spin move, fade away on the right baseline off the back of the rim, or make it the side of the backboard for Gooden. Long rebound for the Eagles, pulled down by Archibald. Sends it ahead to the left wing to Pena, hippity hop move. Tries to get up top to Pena, but it's ripped away at the free throw line by Gutierrez for the Eagles' first turnover. Dribbles down the lane, lost the ball, finds Nora on the right base, drives back door, tries to throw it off left wing, three on the way for Jones off the back of the rim. And waiting for it's Mackey as he rips it down with the bicep. His second board. Dribbles into the front court. Got stripped at the free throw line coming down the lane. Taken away by Nora for the third Eagle turnover. He sends it down the lane and is getting knocked to the floor now as he going to the left side of the paint. Third turnover for the Eagles before that one. And they call the foul on Hobbs. That'll be going against Chris Archibald. His first team foul. And that'll be R.J. Nora on the charity stripe. Nora on the season shooting 46%. Wildcats came into the game at 55 as a team.
Surprising that we're almost halfway through the first quarter and there's only 2 points on the board.
First shot's up and good. Clovis and Roswell were 24 all at the end of one on Tuesday night. After that first free throw, good for the Wildcats. R.J. Nora's first score. It's 2-1 now. Eagles still up by 1. Substitute coming in, Jaden Cox for the Wildcats, one of their post players. 6'2" sophomore. As we wait the second free throw from Nora, shots up and good. Got them both. We're tied at 2. 4:27 left first quarter. Eagles also get some subs in. Peyton Hodge will dribble across the timeline. Looked like he cut some of his hair off there in the last few days. Also on the court, Caleb Lehman, who gets a pass right wing. Wide open for a tray. Off the right rim, no good. Underneath the hoop for the rebound for the Wildcats is Nora. Dribbles with a crossover down the lane through two defenders. Stripped from behind. Nice pick for Hodge. That'll be Clovis' fourth turnover. Hodge in the front court near side finds Lehman wide open right corner. Another three off the side of the rim. No good. Rebound left block. Pulled down by Cox, his third rebound. Outlet to the far sideline to Nora. Strong dribble to the right corner front court. Backs out of it. Throws it to the free throw line to Gutierrez. Crossover to his left hand. Goes back door. Left block to Levenschow. Throw up some shot from 10 and puts it through. Levenschow now with his first bucket of the ball game and the first lead for Clovis, up 4-2 here in the first quarter with 3:38 remaining. Lehman will throw it off left wing, front court to Hodge. Gets around his defender, sends it to the right side to Lehman. Bounce it down low, right block, a reverse layup underneath the hoop from right to left. And scoring just off the bench momentarily, Jairus Turbiatis to get the Eagles tied up at 4.
Got it inside the paint.
3:20 left first quarter. Slowing it down now for the Wildcats. Front court is Jones. Sends it off to the right wing to Gutierrez. Dumps it to the right block. Pivoting is Cox. Has double team pressure. Spins in the lane. Double clutch over the back of the iron. They call the foul. He leaned in between two defenders that time and got collapsed on. They got the foul on the Eagles as they'll charge that one to Jairus Turbiatis, his first, second team foul. Both teams with 2 now. And a chance for the 2 free throws for the Wildcats. 4-4 your score. 3:08 left first quarter here at Tasco Arena, the semifinals of the district tournament. First shot's up and rimming around a few times and coming out. No good for Cox. He came into the game shooting 50% from the charity stripe. Misses the first one there. Clovis now 2 for 3 for 66% here in the first quarter. One more for Cox. He's got some size too, 6'5". Misses out the back of the rim. Pulled down in the left block for the Eagles by Caleb Lehman. His first rebound. Brings it across the timeline with the dribble. Allows to Hodge. A dangerous throw. Almost stripped away. Gutierrez got a piece of it. Hodge able to knock it off of him out of bounds. So Eagles will have it on the near sideline. Tied up at 4. Coach Reeves going to go to the bench and bring in Brian Acosta for his first action. The rest of the squad stays on the court. Michael Mackey to inbound on the near right sideline with 3 minutes left first quarter. Up top to Hodge. Hodge will take a few dribbles, stop and go. To the right base, spins. Fadeaway jumper from the block. Over the rim, no good. Pulled down underneath the hoop for the rebound by Cox. Already his 4th rebound for the Wildcats. Outlet to the timeline. Bringing it across Gutierrez, left wing. Sends it down to Levenschow in the corner. Fadeaway 3 and puts it through. Levenschow leading the Wildcats now with 5 points. 7-4. Their biggest lead is 3 here in the first quarter with 2:35 remaining. Mackey in the front court against a 1-2-2 zone. Throws up a 3 shot from NBA range off the back of the rim. Another Marvin Cox rebound, his 5th in the first quarter. Throws it across the timeline. Right wing is Nord to the baseline. Goes up high with 2 hands. No good. Ball's tipped up in the air. Mackey with the right block rebound. That'll be his 3rd. Gets stripped off the near sideline and taken away by Cox. Eagles with their 4th turnover. Cox up top to Gutierrez. Swings it right and then gets it back top of the circle. He's going to drive right around the circle. Head it back off to the right side on the spin for Levenschow. Up top for Cox. Cox with a jab step. Turbiatis right on top of him. Comes down the lane. Shovel pass off to the right wing to Nora. Nora takes it up top to Gutierrez. Back to Nora on the right side. Drives the lane. Kicks it left wing to Levenschow. Fires up another 3. This one an air ball. And putting it down in the left block for the Eagles is Peyton Hodge, his first rebound. Eagles down by 3. Hodge will throw up a 3 on the left wing. Wide open for the tray right through the net. Hodge with his first points of the ball game. He's got 3. 3 scores for the Eagles and a 7-7 ball game. 1:30 left first quarter. Coming across the timeline is Cox. Jump stop, top of the arc, stolen away on the pass by Hodge. Turnover number 5. He'll go to the rack, double clutch left, no good. Rebound, Turbiatis on the right block. Back to Hodge on the right wing. Cross court left to Lehman. Lost sight of it. Almost lost it out of bounds. Saved it. Loose at the timeline. Gets it back. Drives the paint. Backdoor cut for Turbiatis. The pass and the layup on the left side. Back to back for Turbiatis. He's got 4 coming off the bench. Eagles with a 2-point lead, 9-7. We got a track meet with 1 minute left first quarter. In the front court, Gutierrez, a no-look pass to the right corner to Levenschow. He drives baseline, a scoop shot. And they're going to say that there was a hook foul on the dribbler that time against Levenschow. That'll be his first, 3rd team foul, and the 6th turnover for the purple and white, who's wearing black tonight. Looks like a timeout on the court. We'll keep it right here with 56 seconds left in the quarter. Ron, right now, the Eagles with a 2-point lead, but we start to see some good shooting by Levenschow, hitting a tray and another bucket. He had 5 points with no hand in the face.
Yeah, and it's both sides are coming to life a little bit as far as their shooting goes, which is great for Hobbs, but it's pretty bad for the fact that Clovis is also coming back alive strong, especially after their several mistakes they made early in this quarter. You know, it seems like it's been a long quarter that's been very fruitless for both sides, 9-7. We're expecting a bigger score than this, especially after, like you said earlier, 24-24 was the end of the first quarter against Roswell and Kaya and the Wildcats. So it's just, I don't know, maybe they're feeling each other out. Maybe they're just having trouble with the ball control. I'm not sure what's going on. However, it's going to be, it's still going to be a tight game. It's still 9-7, 2 points. So anything is possible for the rest of this game.
Hobbs averaging 81 points in the series this year. They scored 88 and 74 respectively, so 162 points. The Wildcats at 68 and 56, so 124, 67 average against the Eagles so far. Still a low one now. 50 seconds left in the quarter. Getting across the timeline for the Eagles. Hodge gives it off right wing to Pena. Hands off to Turbiatis. Up top to Hodge. Still against a 1-2-2 zone. Underhands it to Pena on the right wing with the jab step. Still looking for some help. Dribbles up top and backs it out to the timeline with 37 seconds left opening quarter. 9-7 Eagles. Going to take his time with the dribble left. Finds Mackey. He'll dribble back to the timeline. Comes back to the left side to Pena. Gives it back to him. Goes up the sideline, hands off to Turbiatis, spin move, stays outside the circle though. Back to Pena left corner, drives baseline and gets knocked to the floor. Good head fake there and then got down low with the dribble. And we're going to see which foul they're going to get this on. It looks like they charge out with a Champ Gooden. Already he's got 2 fouls. That's the 4th on the Wildcats. Gooden came in averaging 11 points a game. Would like to see him sitting down pretty quickly here. Hodge dumps it back door on the inbound, and there's Turbiatis who's got a flame lit this first quarter. He's got 6 points, a 2-hander off the glass right next to the rim. 11-7, Eagles' biggest lead now is 4 here with 10 seconds left opening quarter. Into the front court, top of the circle, a pass off left wing to Levinshone. Drives the lane, double clutch on the left glass. It's off the rim too, no good. Turbiatis pulls down his second rebound, middle of the paint, gives it off to Mackey on the near right. He tries to throw up a 3-quarter court shot, but the buzzer sounds first, and that's the end of 1 here at Tasker. Hobbs holding on to a 4-point lead over Clovis, 11-7. We'll come back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Ready for second quarter action here at Task Arena. The Hobbs Eagles leading by 4 over Clovis. Semifinals of the district tournament, 11-7. The numbers in the first quarter for Clovis. Leading score is Levinshone with 5, 2 for Nora. And for your Hobbs Eagles, 6 for Jairus Turbiatis, 3 for Peyton Hodge off a tray, and Michael Mackey with 2. Eagles out-rebounded Clovis 8-7 in the first quarter, and outscored them by 4. Hobbs yet to shoot a free throw. Clovis is 2 for 4 from the charity stripe for 50%. Eagles now going to get the ball to face the second quarter and a 1-2-2 zone for Clovis on the extension. Over to Peyton on the left wing, backs into his defender, hands it off on the far left sideline to Chisholm. Bounce pass up top to Mackey. Jab step to the left wing, no looker back to Chisholm, left corner, fadeaway 3 off the side of the rim, and ripped down to the middle of the paint for the Wildcats by Jones, his first rebound. Aless behind him and gives it to Khalil Torres-Pierre, who sees his first action, dribbles into some traffic on the far right, double team, picked off on the pass for Mackey, flicks it ahead with the underhand to try to get it to Pena, but it's fumbled near the baseline, out of bounds, well ahead of him that time, so turnovers exchanged for both teams. There's 5 for Hobbs and now 7 for the Wildcats, but it will be Clovis basketball. The inbound to Torres, cross court right, give it off to Levinshone, back deep to the left side to Pereira as he comes off the timeline. Bounce pass to the left wing, and throwing it off the Hobbs Eagle on the near sideline in front of the student section. R.J. Noor got it off of Hodge that time as it sails out of bounds. It will be Clovis basketball right in front of the student section, the place you do not want to be.
No, you do not.
Eagles up by 4, 11-7, 7:20 left here in the second. Referees trying to make sure everybody gets cleaned up here, not pushing around. They finally get the ball into the near corner, left side. A spin move, but staying in the corner is Levenshulme. Keeps it on the left wing with the pass to Torres Pierre. They got a push foul, hand check going on. Michael Mackey in the area that time, and maybe Pena. No, that was, it will be Mackey. That'll be his first personal, third team foul. So 4-3 foul count, 4 for Wildcats, 3 for the Eagles, and they'll get it right back near the same spot, near left sideline for the Clovis squad. The inbound comes to the left corner. A bounce pass coming inside to Cox. Reverse layup from left to right underneath the hoop. And getting the pass of the layup is Levenshulme. He's got 7 to lead the Wildcats. 11-9, Eagles by 2. Hodge in the front court, top of the circle. Bounce pass right baseline to Chisholm. Spins, pivots, does not take the shot, returns to Hodge on the right wing. Gives it again to Chisholm in the right corner. Back deep to set it up to Pena, top of the circle. To Hodge on the right wing. He wants an NBA 3 out the front of the rim, though, and pulled down underneath the hoop by Jones, his second rebound. Out ahead, trying to come down the lane. 1-on-2 is Nora, and he comes down the lane and puts over the rim for the bucket. Nora now with 4 points, and we are tied at 11. In the front court comes Hodge, top of the circle. Over the right wing to Pena. Down to Chisholm in the right corner. Mackey comes around to get it right circle. He's going to pop up a tray. Off the back of the rim, a high bouncer. Gets ricocheted in the paint. Looks like it comes off a Wildcat. Secondly, Jaden Levenshulme, as he was battling Turbiatis for the Eagles. A lot of three-point shots being taken, Ron, and not getting the mark. No good follow-through so far for the Eagles.
I know. If they can get the follow-through going on, they can make some great shots because Clovis doesn't defend the perimeter as well.
Hodge get the ball on the left wing, up top to Pena. His NBA 3 is in and out, no good. A one-hand rip down on the rebound for Cox, his 6th rebound for the Wildcats in the paint. Throws it ahead to Torres Pierre, top of the circle. Touch pass left wing to Cox. Down to the left corner, going baseline Cox. Jaden Cox returns to Marvin Cox, up top to Jones. Free throw, making a hook shot from the free throw line off the back of the rim. Long rebound for Mackey. 1-2 and up at the other side. Reverse layup left, and a late whistle on the scoop shot on the left side of the iron. They call the foul on the Wildcats from behind. That will be their 5th team foul. And we're going to see who they get this one against. It looks like J.J. Jones has picked up his first. And now on the line for the first time tonight, the Eagles getting some free throw opportunities. Michael Mackey comes in at 78% as a team, the Eagles at 64%. That did start 9% better than the Wildcats before the game started at 55%. Mackey's first free throw's up and good. He now has 3 points. 6 for Turbiatis, 3 for Mackey, and 3 for Hodge. And for the Wildcats, it's Levenshulme with 7 and 4 for Nora. 5:56 remaining here in the second. Eagles up by 1, trying to make it 2 at the second free throw. Shot is up, rolling around, no good off the rim. Turbiatis got his hands on it momentarily, but it's stripped out of there quickly underneath the hoop, and dribbling up court is Nora. Throws it across a high one over the timeline, ricochets a few people, goes out, and it was touched by Chisholm, who got high in the air that time to get a swat at it. Kind of a dangerous throw there for the Wildcats, and almost paid with a turnover.
Yeah, they've been making a little bit of erratic choices.
Inbound to the timeline to Cox. Bounce pass up top to Torres Pierre. Goes to his left hand around the circle. Underhands it up top to Jones. Jones guarded by Pena. Spin. He keeps it outside the arc. Hippity hop. Pass off right wing to Cox. He goes to the rack with his little finger roll over the front of the rim. No good. Mackey underneath the hoop for the rebound. His 5th board. 3-on-2. Jump stop left elbow. Kicks it left to Pena for a 3. And there's one going through the threads. Counted for Abraham Pena, his first bucket, 2nd tray of the game for the Eagles, who lead by 4, 15-11. And we got a dribble for Torres Pierre near the timeline, and looks like a timeout as Clovis wants to talk about it. Coach Maddox going to discuss some stuff with his troops. By the way, remember, Coach Maddox was an assistant at the University of Southwest here in Hobbs last year. We'll take a 30-second break here at Tasker Arena. Hobbs 15, Clovis 11. Come back with us in half a minute on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back live here at Tasker Arena, the district tournament semifinal matchup, Hobbs and Clovis, 15-11, Eagles by 4, their biggest lead of the ball game. And we start to see some teams like the Eagles shooting some trays. Levinstone has done it for Clovis, and Hobbs has converted 2 now, Pena and Hodge. This is a Clovis team that had 10 trays against Roswell Tuesday, but gave up 11, and they still won the ball game.
Exactly, and it was basically because they held Roswell in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, definitely with double-digit margin there to get the win. Clovis basketball after the timeout up top. Torres Pierre goes back door and a high-arching shot off the right glass by Jaden Cox, the sophomore. His first bucket, 3 scores down for the Wildcats. His 15-13 Eagles. Hodge in the front court, stop and go. Wide open Chisholm, right corner for 3, and rolls around the rim and good. The Eagles will start to hit the trays now as Jordan Chisholm gets his first bucket. That's the 3rd tray of the game for the black and gold. 18-13, the biggest lead is 4. Driving in the paint at the other end, J.J. Jones goes underneath the hoop, reverse layup, right to left, off the glass by Cox, no good. Rebound in the right corner by Torres Pierre. Tries to send it back down the lane, but they're going to say he shuffled his feet first for the turnover on the travel, and that'll be 8 turnovers now for Clovis.
He threw the ball anyhow, or threw the ball away, so either way they were going to lose the ball.
Sub coming in for the Wildcats, Manuel Gutierrez, as taking a seat will be Jaden Cox. So I think we only have one Cox on the floor now, Marvin Cox. But he is a potent threat, but not having scored any points so far in this second quarter, or the first for that matter, but leads the team with 6 rebounds. 6 points for Turbiatis to lead the Eagles, and a bunch of guys with 3, Mackey, Pena, Hodge, and Chisholm. Pena has the ball in the front corner, the near sideline. Gets some tough pressure from Torres Pierre up top with a 2-1-2 zone. To Mackey on the left wing, returns to Hodge left side, up top to Pena. Pena with a jab step. Nobody getting open now. Try to come get him a screen is Archibald. Doesn't use it, gives it to Mackey instead on the near sideline. To Archibald on the right wing, he fires it, but 3, and he nails another one. So Archibald gets in the books now. 4 different players have hit trays for the Eagles, and they lead by 8, 21-13. Clovis now gets across the timeline. Coming down the left side of the lane is Gutierrez, and they reverse, misses out the back of the rim. Rebound on the near sideline by Pena, his first. Dribbles in the front court, flings it down to Chisholm, right corner. A rainbow 3, it's off the side of the rim, right. Ball gets knocked down on the far left sideline. We got a delay here for the official to see what we got on the touch. And they're pointing it for Clovis. It looks like Mackey might have the last piece of the leather that time, and it will be Wildcat basketball after a battle on that far sideline. Sub coming in for the Wildcats, Champ Gooden returns. He's yet to score, and he's one of their top scorers this season.
Yeah, he's already in foul trouble with 2, but I saw Mackey. It looked like he just missed the ball.
Torres Pierre will come across, dumps it left corner to Gooden, goes to the rack with a lefty finger roll and scores. Coming off the bench quickly for his first bucket, 21-15. Eagles by 6. Coming across the timeline is Hodge on the left wing. 2-3 zone now for Clovis. Up top to Pena. Swing it right to Archibald. To right corner to Mackey. His 3, little fadeaway off the side of the rim. Gets his own rebound. Goes to the rack. Double clutch on the right block. They're going to call a foul. He kind of leaned forward. Wildcat fans are coming unglued up here in the stands. Didn't like the call, as Mackey just kind of put his body forward and flattened out a little bit and got a body foul call. That'll be charged to Marvin Cox, his first, 6th team foul, and Mackey's on the stripe. He'll be getting 2 free throws out of this one. 21-15 your score. 6-point Eagle lead. First shot for Mackey is up, and it is good. 7-point Eagle lead. Trying to match their biggest lead of the game at 8. Substitution come on for the Eagles is Jairus Turbiatis as he checks in. One of the post players coming in for Archibald. Eagles now with 6 scorers. And for Clovis, it's 3. Make it 4. One more shot for Mackey. Shot is up, and it is in and out, no good. Pulled down underneath there for the Wildcats on the right block by Jones, his 3rd rebound. Sends it to the timeline left. Torres Pierre getting double team pressure. Turbiatis and also some help from Hodge. Bounce pass in the near left corner, barely to Gutierrez. He gets double, triple team now. He's having trouble. Unloads to the free throw line to Gooden. Goes to the rack, falling forward, and he ran over the top. It looks like 2 players went down underneath him like bowling pins. Turbiatis and Chisholm, but they're going to get the foul regardless. On the drive that time, they'll charge that one to Gooden. That is his 3rd personal 17 foul. Not only is it major foul trouble for him, Ron, but also it'll be bonus the next time the Eagles get a chance.
Yeah, and he was way out of control, trying to go for the basket, and like you said, ran over 2 players, not even just 1, but 2.
And he's also on the bench now with those 3 fouls. Eagle basketball to the left wing. Pena, stop and go. 15-footer on the way in the fade off the back of the rim. Mackey rips it down to sky high. Fadeaway jumper, middle of the paint, and puts it through the hole. Mackey now with his 6th rebound and a total of 6 points. It's now 24-15. The biggest lead is 9 for the Eagles here in the second quarter. 2:25 remaining. Pass down the left wing to Gooden. Cross court right to Gutierrez. Fakes an 18-footer. Returns it on the right side to Jones. Up top to Torres Pierre with the jab step. He spins. Trying to get around Hodge to the free throw line. Lost the ball. Taken away by Chisholm for turnover number 9. Chisholm goes backdoor to Hodge on the alley-oop. Double clutch and scored off the left side of the rim. Puts it through, does Hodge. He's got 5. And Coach Maddox is not a happy camper as he calls a timeout. His Wildcats trailing by double digits now for the first time tonight, 26-15, an 11-point Eagle lead. 2:06 left, second quarter. We're coming back. It's 30 seconds live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and also on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Eagles have expanded their lead to 11 here. 2:06 remaining in the second. 26-15 over Clovis. Semifinals of the district tournament live. HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, Cool 95 Facebook page, Hobbs YouTube sports page. And here come the Wildcats to break the pressure. The ball gets thrown to the half-court line and trying to dribble to traffic. Hunter Egbert seeing his first action. They call the reach foul on the Eagles. That'll be charged to Chisholm, his first 14th foul. And it will be Clovis basketball on the far right sideline near the scores table, who trail by 11. Chisholm trying to block the inbound. They'll throw it down high to the right wing. Coming down with it is Levenshulme. Returns to the right wing to Jones. Behind him, dump it to the right elbow. Pivoting is Cox. Up top, wide open is Jones for 3. Hard bouncer at the back of the rim, no good. Rebound on the left block, pulled down low by Egbert. He tried to go up through 2 defenders. I think somebody crashed on him that time. I don't know if he got a shot off or not, but it will be a foul on the Eagles from that left block. That will be from the Eagles' 5th team foul, and they'll get that charge to Pena, his first. And Clovis will have it on the right baseline. They trail by 11.
I was wondering where the three-point shooters were for Clovis, and that was at least one attempt from the Wildcat.
Gutierrez will get it into left corner. Fischel has a foul just as the ball came across the baseline that time, down in the left corner. And that will be a foul on the Eagles. They're 6th now as they charge that one to Peyton Hodge. Luckily for the Eagles, though, all 6 fouls are spread out one apiece among Mackey, Pena, Hodge, Chisholm, Archibek, and Turbiatis. So no foul trouble situation for the Eagles. 3 for Champ Gooden, though, for the Wildcats. Gutierrez inbound near side, puts it to the time stripe to Egbert. Sends it to the right wing to Levenshulme. Drives the middle of the lane. Wraparound pass, right baseline. A 15-footer by Cox off the side of the rim, no good. Pulled down by Caden Hall. His first rebound up ahead to Mackey. 2-on-1. Goes to the rack on the left side and lays it in for 2. Mackey now has a total of 6 in the second quarter. 8 overall to lead the Eagles, the ones on the court at least. As Hobbs up by 13, their biggest lead of the contest. Pass down low, right block. Cox spins in the lane. Fadeaway jumper. In and out, no good. Another rebound for Caden Hall for the Eagles. Sends it up the near sideline to Pena with 1:10 left in the half. Eagles by 13. One hands it over to the right corner. Chisholm, fadeaway 3. High off the back of the rim. Chased down by Hall in the left corner. His 3rd rebound. Up top to Pena. Drives the lane through 2 defenders. Reverse layup right. Gets swatted. Just waiting for that one was Jaden Levenshulme to throw it to the baseline. And kind of a slow developing layup attempt there by Pena.
Yeah, in fact, I lost him a little bit in the camera work, but yeah, it's just amazing how sometimes the ball doesn't bounce the way you want it to, and you just have to roll with it.
Nick Pena is on the left base to inbound it for the Eagles. Bounces it into Hall on the right block, picks up a double team. He's going to dribble out of the pressure up towards the right wing and sends it back to Mackey at the time stripe with 50 seconds. Going hard against Jones, chest to chest, goes down the lane, hippity hop, gets ripped. And they're going to call the foul. Trying to get a piece of the ball and rip it out of his hands to help out was Hunter Egbert. And Egbert's telling the official that Mackey threw a head at him that time. Official's not going to oblige him on that one. Gives him a foul. That's the first on Egbert and the 18th foul. So the only guy that shot free throws so far for the Eagles is Mackey, and he's back up again. 2 for 3 from the stripe. And right now with 8 points to lead the Eagles.
Yeah, we wanted to see the Hobbs Eagles as a team work on their free throws. However, if anybody should be on the line, it's going to be Mackey.
Remember, he scored that 51 against the Wildcats a couple games back. He was 15 of 17 from the charity stripe that night as he makes his first free throw there.
Yep. Could have had 53, but you know what? 51, nothing to sneeze at, especially since it was the first in the history of the Eagles.
Yep, first with the high school record for Tasker. Shot up and good. Makes both free throws. He's now 4 of 5 from the line, and Eagles have doubled up on Clovis, 30-15. 42 seconds remaining. Fumbling the ball away is Cox, taken away for Pena. That's Clovis's 10th turnover. Jump stop, middle of the paint, throws up a J and puts it through, does Pena. He's got 5 points. Eagles by 17, now their biggest lead of the game.
Pena showing some real nice breaks on that one.
Cross court left on the pass, right to left. Pulled down by Egbert in the backcourt. One hand bounce pass back to Gutierrez, still trying to cross the line. And we got a 10-second violation. I thought they got it across with a bounce pass to get there, but nope, not enough. It will be another turnover. That's the 11th for the Wildcats. The last 3 possessions have been fumbles away to the Eagles.
Not sure why they were taking their time on that one, especially since it's almost the end of the quarter.
And the half for that matter. Inbound to the backcourt to Pena with 20 seconds remaining in the second. Hobbs by 17. Pena bring it across, a double screen. Chisholm and Hall bouncing to Mackey, right block, leans and shoots. They're going to say he stutter step before going to the rack with it. They called the travel. It looked like Hunter Egbert setting up for a charge that time, and Mackey went right around him. But they got the turnover. That's number 6. Half-court inbound comes to the near side left, and getting fouled quickly is J.J. Jones. 2 defenders crashing on him that time. Hobbs will have it in the near sideline front court. See who they're going to get that one against. Charge that to Abraham Pena, his second. That's a 17 foul, which is a bonus situation. That'll send J.J. Jones up to the stripe. They are 2 for 4 from the line so far. Jones yet to shoot or score in this game yet. They've had a total of 4 scores so far. Free throws up off the back of the rim hard. Tipped up in the air, pulled down by Pena in the middle of the paint. That'll be his first rebound. Outlet to Chisholm near side. Dumps it in the right corner to Pena with 3 seconds. 2, 1. Bounce to the right wing. Shot at the buzzer by Pena. Is nailing it through the net. Count it. Right before the buzzer. Nick Pena only came into the game averaging .3 a contest with 7 games under his belt this season. Hits the tray to seal the deal at the half. The biggest lead of the game is 20. Hobbs 35. Clovis 15. We'll be back in 3 minutes with the semifinals and the halftime show of the district tournament live on your Hobbs Eagle Network. Back here at Task Arena, the halftime show. Hobbs Eagles leading Clovis 35-15 here in the semifinals of the district tournament. Of course, the team that wins this one tonight will go to Carlsbad for a Saturday night matchup, a 6 o'clock championship game. And then next week, the regionals, they're not calling it the regionals, but the first round of the state tournament. Saturday will be that game, whether it be a road or home game. Of course, Carlsbad will also be in the state tournament as well, regardless of how they finish up here at the district tournament. But right now, the Eagles with a 20-point lead. I think some key things so far, Ron, we're seeing less turnovers for the Eagles. They only have 6 compared to 11 for Clovis. Hobbs with 5 trays right now, 1 3-pointer for Clovis. And the foul trouble situation, Champ Gooden has 3 total personal fouls at this point. He averages 11 points a game, only has 2 right now. The other big head shaker or head scratcher, Marvin Cox, who came into the contest with big points, 8.2 a game. He is scoreless at this point in time.
Exactly, and that's exactly what Hobbs needed to do, is to limit the scoring on the big guys for the Clovis Wildcats. Also, I believe they're also kind of limiting themselves as well. Haven't seen as many three-point attempts as I expected to. That is a major thing that I thought that would happen. Isn't going on so far. Maybe in the second half they will. But so far they're not trying to light it up. They're just trying to play some basic basketball, and it is not working out for them. Hobbs using some press sometimes, being able to disrupt their offense. And even though Clovis is getting into the lane, they're getting in the paint. They're getting close to getting some shots, but overall it's not working out like they wanted to. Of course, 15 points in 2 quarters, you definitely don't want to have that. You want to have a whole lot more points than that. So far, though, Hobbs, great on offense, great on defense, and they're doing pretty good so far in this first half.
A lot of low-scoring games in the district this year. Of course, that game with Carlsbad last week, no different. Eagles getting 32 points in a loss there, but only 49 for Clovis, so didn't even hit the 50 mark in that ball game. Let's look at the numbers here tonight. First for Clovis, not much to speak of. Jaden Levinshone, who only came into the game averaging 1.8 a game. He's the leading scorer with 7 points, has the only tray for Clovis as well. R.J. Nora with 4 points, 2 for 2 on the line. Also, Champ Gooden with 2. We mentioned that just a minute ago, but 3 fouls to deal with. And Jaden Cox has 2 points in the first half. So they've had a total of 4 scores right now, 2 and 5 from the free throw line for 40%. Have had 11 turnovers in the first 2 quarters of action, and a total of 14 rebounds, 2 less than the Eagles. Tops on the boards, Marvin Cox so far with 6, 3 for J.J. Jones. And for your Hobbs Eagles, already a double-digit scorer in Michael Mackey. He had 8 of his 10 points in the second quarter and was 4 of 5 from the charity stripe for 80%. Also leads the team in rebounds like he does throughout the season. He had 6 in that first half of action. Jairus Turbiatis came off the bench and scored 3 buckets in the second quarter and finished with 6 points and 2 rebounds. Abraham Pena hit one of the Eagles' 5 3-pointers, had 5 points in the first half and a board. Peyton Hodge had another tray for the Eagles. He had 5 and 1 rebound. Jordan Cheslett with a tray as well for 3. Chris Archibek, even as a post player, got a 3, and he had a rebound as well. Nick Pena, the starter tonight, he hit a tray right before the buzzer to end the first half, finished with 3, and had a rebound on top of that. So lots of guys getting tray opportunities. Again, 5 trays in the first half. Eagles have a total of 7 scores in the first half. Free throw situation so far, one guy, as we mentioned, 4 of 5, Michael Mackey. Nobody else has had a chance to shoot free throws yet. Eagles out rebounding Clovis 16-14, led by Mackey 6, 3 for Hall, and 2 for Turbiatis. So that's where we stand at this point in time. Eagles were up by 4 at the end of one, 11-7, and outscored Clovis 24-8 in the second quarter. So a 16-point differential, thus a 20-point lead at the half.
Yeah, and I've got some updates for you on some scores that are going on around, including, let's start with the girls. Portales is up on Lovington in the half, 26-20, close game. Also a close game, really close for the boys. Tatum is in Eunice, and they're down by 1 at halftime, 33-34. So Eunice looking pretty good, as they always have been throughout this season.
And we'll try to keep you updated on those games. Of course, the Hobbs Lady Eagles will be action on Saturday night here at Task Arena as they'll host Carlsbad for the district tournament championship. Of course, the Lady Eagles are the regular season champs. And, of course, that's the same night and time as the Hobbs boys against, hopefully Hobbs boys against Carlsbad. Of course, they had to beat Clovis here tonight, who they lead by 20. And taking a look at the tournament situation, Ron, I know it's a little bit premature, but there's a lot of teams in action tonight around the state, bunches of district tournaments going on. The question mark is, Will the Hobbs Eagles get a chance to move up in those rankings of the Max Preps? Of course, it's not the only poll that they use to look at. They look at matchups, head-to-head, things of that nature. How do you do in the district tournament, possibly? How do you do in the regular season? But the thing about it is the Hobbs Eagles sitting at that number 12 spot, they played a lot of those teams that have been in the top 10. Talk about the West Mesas, the Rio Ranchos, the Clevelands, teams like Oregon Mountain. All those teams they played, Los Lunas. So their strength of schedule is one of the tops in the state. They're currently at number 7 out of all the teams in the state of New Mexico in the 5A. They played a lot of good squads at the APS Metro tournament. So those type of quality games is possibly can help them get over the hump with some of these teams. I think the biggest possibility of a team to drop down and maybe giving a chance for Hobbs to move up and they continue to win here is La Cueva. La Cueva got upset in their second round of their district tournament by Farmington a couple nights ago. That's really going to hurt La Cueva's resume, and I think that might give them a shot to move down. They're number 11 right now. So Hobbs, any team that they get at this point is probably going to be in the top 4 in terms of the seeding. So a lot of tough teams at the top: Volcano Vista, Trisco Heritage, Sandia, a bunch of great squads up there. So Hobbs is trying to just kind of play around a little bit to see what they can try to move up as much as possible. But let's face it, any game that the Eagles might get, if they don't get in the top 8, they're going to have to go on the road next week. It's going to be a tough schedule, whether it be in Las Cruces, Albuquerque, or Rio Rancho. That will be their vacation trip to go to take on their first round of the state tournament.
Yeah, there is no easy path to the championship this year. That is for certain for Hobbs. And you know what? You're right about La Cueva. They are on the bubble right now as far as Hobbs and La Cueva. They are tight-knit, close. La Cueva has just one more victory than them. They have a little bit stronger rating. They also have a little bit, just a slightly stronger strength of schedule so far at 16.8 versus Hobbs, who has 16.7. So it's going to be interesting to see. Santa Fe is also going to be involved in this mix as well as El Dorado. Carlsbad pretty much is locked in either at 9 or better. But you know what would happen is Hobbs would have a big boost if they can go in, win this game, of course, go into Carlsbad, be able to beat them, maybe not convincingly, but at least beat them. And then that way that would help them in their strength of schedule as well as their rating. That could actually move them up to maybe 10 at best, and that would give them maybe a softer schedule to a degree.
Of course, the Eagles split with Rio Rancho, and Rio Rancho has been doing some good stuff towards the end of the season as well. Lots of these teams in the top 10 are coming out of the same 2 or 3 conference or districts too, so that kind of muddies the water just a bit. But we'll talk more about the state tournament potential. Right now, the Eagles have to worry about a game here at Task Arena, and the Clovis Wildcats, who probably aren't going to make the state tournament, but they would love to get a big upset on the road. They got a big hole to dig out of, down by 20 as we start the second half. Wildcat basketball live here on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, Cool 95.7. And, of course, other venues around the inner tube, or internet, I should say, inner tube. I guess it is TV as well. Clovis gets a pass to the left wing on the pivot now, trying to get away from the pressure is Gooden. Sends it to the right side of the court to Cox. Up top, driving the left side of the paint is Nora. Tries to lean and shoot from the left block. Goes over the top of his defender, but I think they're going to say Chisholm was moving his feet. They'll call the foul on him, and that'll be the first foul of the second half. Eagles had 7 fouls in the first half, and that will be the second on Chisholm. And that'll be some free throws now for Clovis. On the line, R.J. Nora. He went 2 for 2 in the first half. Clovis was 2 of 5 as a team for 40%. 35-15, Eagles by 20. As we wait the 2 free throws. First shot is up for Nora and good, a swish. He's got 5 points, second leading scorer behind Jaden Levinshone, 7. We mentioned Mackey leading the Eagles with 10. 6 for Jairus Turriatis coming off the bench.
Tribbiatis is really doing well. So is Hodges. Hodges on fire tonight.
Second shot is up, bouncing around the rim and good. Falls through for Nora. He's got 6 points. Perfect on the line, too. 4 for 4 so far for him. 35-17, Eagles by 18. Mackey with the basketball. Comes across the timeline as he takes on the defensive Jones. Coming back to get it is Paney at the time stripe. Coming up on him tough is Nora. To Chisholm on the left elbow, backs into his defender, sends it to Pena down the lane left side, tries to lean and shoot. He gets walloped hard between 2 defenders as he kind of leaned towards the left block that time towards the hoop and gets bited up by Champ Gooden. And that's Gooden, it is. It's his 4th personal. He's only scored 2 points in this ball game, and he is definitely going to have to be subbed out by Coach Maddox now. After the first free throw here, Pena will go to the line. Yet to shoot a free throw in this game. Pena's 5 points so far. Did hit a tray earlier. Gets his first chance here. It's off the front of the rim, though. No good.
And with the exit of Champ, that's going to really make Wildcats have to change their strategy and see who else can step up and get them back into this game.
Pena came in with a 67% free throw shooting season so far. He'll get one more here.
I was talking to Mike Guerin just earlier today about this young team and how they're going to really progress in the years to come.
Second free throw, no good. Come down with it by Cox, his 7th rebound. A bad pass to the timeline taken by Chisholm. He lays up on the right side with the scoop. They called the block foul. Came off the back of the rim. That was the 12th turnover for Clovis. Not doing themselves any justice with these giveaways to the Eagles. And they'll call the foul on the block underneath. That will be the second team foul on Clovis here in the second half. That will be the second as well. Charged to Jaden Levenshow. So Chisholm will be on the line. Chisholm yet to shoot a free throw. And on the season at 41%. Hard break off the back of the rim. Eagles have some issues with 0 for 3 free throw shooting as we start the third quarter.
Yeah, it's something that they just struggle at home for some reason. And I'm sure this second will be a little more adjustment, and he'll probably make it.
Eagles 4 of 8 from the line now make it 5 of 9 as Chisholm gets 1 of 2. He's got 4 points, back to a 19-point lead. Gutierrez with the basketball, bounce pass near side to Jaden Cox. Cross court left to the circle, and they got the travel. Stutter step by Jaden Levenshow. 3 turnovers in a row for Clovis. That is their 13th of the ball game.
And that's how they started the game, too, so it just seems like going back to old habits.
Yeah, that's blood in the water for Eagles at their home court. A 1-2-2 zone for Clovis. Coming across the timeline is Pena. Goes over to Hodge and hands off to him on the right wing. Dribbles up top. Tries to pass left and out of the hands of Mackey. Stolen away by Gutierrez for the Eagles' 7th turnover. Puts on the brakes on the right block. Knocked out of his hands by Hodge. Picked up top. Shot from the left wing. On the way for Jones. In and out. No good. And ripped underneath by Chisholm on the rebound for the Eagles. Chisholm's first board. Outlet to Hodge on the near sideline front court. Over to Mackey on the left wing. Dumps it to Turbiatis left block. Spins, dribbles, bounce pass back door to Hodge right, kicks it out to Chisholm right corner, 15-footer, nothing but net. Chisholm now with 6 points. Eagles back up to 21, their biggest of the ball game in terms of leads. The pressure trap is coming here, and the ball comes up the near sideline for Clovis to Jones. Sends it down the lane, scoop shot on the right block, put it off the glass and count it, and the foul, as getting the score for the Wildcats, was Marvin Cox. And the foul on the Eagles, that'll be their first here in the second half, as they'll get that one on Chisholm, back-to-back for him, his 3rd. And that was the first bucket for Marvin Cox in this ball game. Came into the contest averaging 8.2 a game. And he'll get that free throw opportunity, a chance for the 3-point play. Referee's getting the ball sorted out here. Cox had 26 against the Eagles in one of the games previously.
Talking about Marvin?
Yes, and then the other time he had 16, so 40 between the two. Second, or free throw up and good for Cox, now with 3 points. Timeout on the court, or substitution, I should say. Has taken a seat now for the Wildcats is J.J. Jones. And coming on is, looks like R.J. Nora. Eagle basketball, 38-20 their lead. 18 with 6:08 left third quarter. Mackey will bring it across, slows it up for the Eagle offense. Unloads to Pena on the left wing, holds the basketball. Rotation for Mackey, going around from left to right. Pena up top of the circle now, backs it out. One-hand bounce pass to Pena, comes back and gets it top of the arc. Gets a screen coming over for him up top by Archibald. Goes left with it, and then back up top to Mackey on the pass. Lefty dribble to the elbow left. Gives it down to Pena, left baseline. Uses up his dribble. Bounce pass in the paint. Spinning with the basketball is Archibald. Back to Mackey on the left wing. Throws up a shot from 15. Off the rim, no good. Tipped up. Can't get it to drop as Archibald. And a long rebound on the run for Clovis. In transition is Marvin Cox. Into the front court. Or correction, that was Nora for his 3rd rebound. Over to right wing, jab step coming from Cox, Jaden Cox. Down to the right corner, Marvin Cox goes to the baseline, leads and shoots off the right rim, no good. Mackey with the long rebound, his 7th. Into the front court, 2-on-2. Over to Pena in the left corner for 3. Off the side of the rim, no good. Turbiatis in the left block, his 3rd rebound. Kicks back out to Pena left. Up top to a wide open. Chris Archibald misses off the back of the rim, but a rebound on the right side of the paint by Pena. And we got to travel. Pena tried to take off with a dribble to the lane from the right side of the arc. And they call the travel on the stutter step. So the Eagles pick up their 8th turnover of the contest, but they still lead by 18. And running a lot of clock, 5:03 left here in the 3rd.
Yeah, they had plenty of rebounds, plenty of chances, but unfortunately a couple of stumbles and indecisive thought, and it cost them the ball.
Couple of passes, and Gutierrez tried to come back for it on the far left sideline, knocked down in midair by Pena. Brian Acosta checks in for the Eagles as Turbiatis takes a seat. He leaves with 6 points and 3 rebounds. Inbound deep to the backcourt. Gutierrez will come across against Pena. To the left side, jump stop. Unloads the ball to Nora. Dumps it in the paint to Marvin Cox. Pivoting right. Kicks up top to Gutierrez for three. Off the front of the rim. No good. Tipped out and chasing it down on the far right sideline is Archibek for his third rebound. Down the lane to Pena with the lefty layup. Double clutch in the last second and scored for Pena. He's got 7 points for the Eagles.
Nice layup on that one.
And a stoppage of play now. They call the reach foul at the timeline.
Yeah, that's going to be on Pena.
That's Pena's first personal, second team foul. Make it the third team foul against the Eagles as they inbound to the backcourt, and they're going to say it was kicked as it came in. Pena got a foot on it. The violation, and give it back to Clovis on the near sideline, just behind the half-court stripe.
Yeah, he was kicking his feet up, trying to get the anything to distract the inbounder, and instead he just kicked the ball.
Comes back again to Gutierrez on the near side. Tight against Mackey. Comes across against Pena, but he falls forward first before passing, and a travel for the Wildcats. That's the 14th turnover now for Clovis. Clock stop at 4:27 left here in the third. Hobbs by 20, doubling up the Wildcats. Again, the Eagles 2-0 against the Clovis squad this season.
And if it was Adam that was calling this game, he would have said, you know, there's been a lot of walks for Clovis so far in this game.
Inbound to the backcourt to Mackey as he brings it across the timeline. Stop and go. Sends it down left corner. Pena's going to fire up a rainbow three off the back of the rim. Rebound on the left block by Levinshone. His first. Sends it ahead. Hippity hop move to the hole. Double clutch on the left glass for Nora. No good. Long rebound for the Eagles. Acosta has it. Dribbling too far ahead of himself. Lost it at the timeline. Stripped away by Torres Pierre for the Eagles' night turnover. Goes back door. A missed layup on the right side by Cox. Pulled down by Mackey. Into the front court. Finds Pena. Left corner. Fadeaway threes. Knocked backward to the floor. Right from the Hobbs Eagles student section. Ball comes off the back of the rim. They got the foul on Clovis, which will be a three-shot variety here. They charge the foul to Jaden Cox, his first. That's the third team foul.
And you never want to give anybody who's shooting a three-point shot three more shots at the free throw line because, you know, it's just a simple matter of 30%. You know, you don't block that. You just try to make them do all the work and not you.
Pena 0 for 2 on the line. I'll make it 0 for 3 as he misses another one there. Does have 7 points. And their lead still 40-20 the score with 3:53 left here in the third. At Task Arena, the semifinals of the district tournament. 3:53 left in the third quarter. Second shot for Pena off the back of the rim. He'll get one more, though. Clovis started to chase it down deep in the right corner. Jaden Cox went out there quickly, but forgot there's one more free throw here.
Well, you know, always with memory muscle, you know, you always think, okay, 2 and done, but it's very rare you get 3.
Pena's third free throw, good, count it, and a timeout for Coach Reeves. 3:53 left, third quarter. Hobbs up by 21, 41-20, matching their biggest lead of the game. We'll take a 30-second break and come back live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Back live at Tasker Arena, your Hobbs Eagles leading Clovis in the semifinals of the district tourney, 41-20. We'd like to thank our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle basketball throughout the season.
Definitely, it's Lee County State Bank, Driftway, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Devon Energy, First American Bank, Eunice Pump and Supply, Lasco Construction, and NMR Pipeline. Thank you very much.
Eagles with only 6 points here in the third quarter and 5 for Clovis, so a total of 11 points. Again, kind of goes along with our consistency this season. Low-scoring games for most of the teams. Of course, I guess if you subtract the 88-68 win Hobbs had in Clovis a few weeks ago.
Right, and you know, again, I'm surprised that Clovis just isn't coming out here and playing with more urgency. I know they have nothing to lose, and so that's what I expected to see, but so far, this Clovis team has been a little underwhelming.
Hobbs at 14-12. The Wildcats at 11-15 for the regular season. They'll get a bounce pass to the timeline to bring it across as Cox. Jaden Cox gets it down left baseline to Nora. Sends it to the right corner to Cox. Or correction, that was Levinshone. Fadeaway jumper in the paint off the dribble and put it through for 2. First points of the second half for Levinshone. He's got 9. 41-22, a 19-point Eagle lead. Pena in the front court, slows it down as Pierre will step out on him. Comes around the right circle, almost lost the ball as a pass, puts it up top to Acosta. Jump stop on the right elbow off the dribble, returns to Pena right wing. Pena cross court to Mackey on the left side. Lefty dribble. Stop and go. Screen from Archibek. Sends it back to Acosta on the left wing. Fakes the pass. Dribbles to the free throw line. Spin move. Back to Pena, who gets knocked down. Pierre got out of control that time and rammed right into Pena. They'll get the foul call on Torres Pierre, his first. That'll be the 14th foul against the Wildcats here in the third. Eagle basketball on the near, or make it the far right sideline. Pena to inbound near the scores table with a 19-point lead. Winner plays Saturday night in Carlsbad for the district championship for the tournament. Inbound to Mackey, right corner. Jab step, backs out, goes back to the baseline. Spin move, right block. Does have a shot rejected in midair for the Clovis Wildcats by Cox. And we got a foul after the pull down for the Clovis Wildcats. Get the foul on the Eagles. Charge that to Chris Archibek, his second, 14th foul on Hobbs. Inbound deep to the backcourt for the Wildcats to Pierre. Sends it left to Cox. Ball deflected by Pena, right back to Torres Pierre. And he gets it back once again as he passed it over to the left side. Down to the left corner for three. Levin showing off the side of the rim. Archibek will pull it down on the left baseline. His fifth rebound. Over to Acosta in the front court on the top of the arc. Kicks it over to Mackey on the right wing with 2:35 left, third quarter. Eagles by 19. He'll spot up a tray. Off the front of the rim, barely slides off and rolls to the left corner out of bounds. Gave him just a little cushion there, did Levenshell, for him to toss up that three, and it barely just kind of nicked the front of the rim.
Yeah, it was just a little bit off, and unfortunately unable to rebound it with anybody really, but Hobbs Eagles unable to rebound that ball.
41-22, Hobbs by 19 with 2:29 remaining here in the third at Tasker Arena. Ball in the hands of Jaden Cox near side. Cross court left to Torres Pierre. Comes across against double team pressure. Finds Levenshell on the left wing. Up top, a high one pulled down by Cox. Marvin Cox gets behind him to Torres Pierre. To the left wing to Levenshell. Crossover move against Hodge. Backs it out. Left wing and gives it back to Torres Pierre. Down to left corner to Marvin Cox. Trying to post up Levenshell in the left block. They call the reach foul on the Eagles. Clock will stop with 2:08 left, third quarter. And the foul going to be charged to Peyton Hodge, his second. And that'll be the 15th foul on the Eagles. Clovis going to show a box inbound play here. Right baseline is Levenshell. Gets it in left wing. Cox on the way with the three for Jaden Cox up the side of the rim. Pulled down by Lehman for the Eagles, top of the circle. He just checked in but got stripped from behind. That'll be the Eagles' 10th turnover. Pass down to the right corner. Marvin Cox with a spin move baseline. Right goes the rack. Double clutch over the side of the rim and score it, and the foul. Marvin Cox now with all 5 of his points here in the third quarter. And that'll be a three-point play opportunity as they get the foul on the Eagles, their 6th. And they'll charge that one to Chris Archibek, his 3rd. You give that kid a first step, and he's going to go to the rack with it, Ron.
Yeah, you're right about that. He definitely did, and he is somebody that you just definitely need to put a body on to make sure he is controlled under the basket.
Hobbs have been keeping him quiet for most of this game, but now he's starting to put some points in. He's got 6 in this third quarter. He makes the free throw. 41-25. Eagles by 16. One-hand bounce pass to Turbiatis far side. Across to Lehman, top of the circle. Gives it back deep to Hodge. Still in the front court. He's going to spot up an NBA 3. The zone backed up, and he made him pay for it with a tray. Hodge with 8 points on 2 trays. The 6th three-pointer for the Eagles compared to 1 for Clovis. 44-25 at the other end. Pass off to the left wing to Nora. Up top, it's going to be Torres Pierre throwing up a 3 and putting it through. His first bucket of the ball game, just the 2nd tray for the Wildcats. And Coach Maddox wants to talk to his troops with a timeout. 1:29 remaining, third quarter. Hobbs still up by double digits over Clovis, 44-28. We'll come back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Third quarter action continues here at Tasker Arena, the semifinals of the district tournament. Winner plays Carlsbad Saturday night. Eagles by 16, 44-28, but they've been up by as many as 21, Ron. Clovis trying to get their way back in this game off of 6 points from Marvin Cox, also leading rebounder with 7 so far for the Wildcats. But the Hobbs Eagles have managed 10 for Michael Mackey and 8 for Peyton Hodge. But Mackey's yet to score in this second half, and the Eagles have had some trouble keeping leads, especially in fourth quarters. Right now, do have a double-digit lead here.
They're feeling with confidence, though. They've also got some enthusiasm. I'm hoping to see this again if we get to the Saturday game. The same intensity that we needed to see just the other day against Carlsbad. They're doing it right now against Clovis.
3-point contest so far, 6 for Hobbs, 2 for Clovis. Inbound to Hodge on the far right, cross court left to Payne, throws it across the timeline to Mackey. 3-on-1, dumps it to Caden Hall with a lean shot from the left block off the rim. Pulled down by Levinshone for the Wildcats, his second. Outlet to the timeline to Torres Pierre. Bounces it to the right block. It's booted out of bounds by Turbiatis off the leg of the Eagle, and it will be Clovis basketball on the left baseline. They trail by 16. Inbounding will be Torres Pierre, left base. One hand bounce into the right corner to Cox. Up top to Levinshone, spinning against Mackey. Cross over to the free throw line. Comes down the lane. Tries to throw up the shot from backward position that time with his back to the hoop. And they call the travel first. He moving the feet around quite a bit that time. And that will be the 15th turnover for the Wildcats compared to 10 for the Eagles.
Yeah, moving without throwing the ball down, that was definitely a travel.
Pass to Mackey, back door to Caden Hall at the other end for their layup on the right side through 2 defenders. Caden Hall coming off the bench for his first bucket. 46-28, 18-point Eagle lead. Stop and go dribble for Torres Pierre. Passes and gets it back from Cox. Over to left wing to Levinshone. Levinshone had big points in the first half, had 7, but only 2 here in the second half. Gives it left wing and driving the lane. Nora off the side of the iron, no good. Coming with it now is Mackey for his 9th rebound. Takes it all the way to the rack, double clutch, high off the right glass. He's fouled, pushed underneath the hoop. Ball comes out the back of the iron, but Mackey will get 2 free throws. As for Clovis, that'll be their 5th team foul. And they'll charge that one to Jaden Cox, his 2nd. So Mackey will be up on the line. He is 4 of 5 from the charity stripe. As a team, the Eagles shooting 50%, 6 of 12.
Yeah, something they need to work on definitely for the Carlsbad game. You know, of course, with Carlsbad, the way they play, always points are a premium.
Mackey with 4 of his 10 points from the line. As I say that, he misses off the front of the rim. So he stays at 10, has yet to score in this second half. And a sub coming in for Coach Maddox and the Wildcats. Back on the court is the starter J.J. Jones coming in from Levinshone.
I've noticed that Mackey's numbers, especially his free throw percentage, is slowly going down. It was at 80% at one point. Now it's down to about 76, 75.
Came into the game, though, averaging 23.5 points a game. Tops in the 5A as he nails the second free throw. 11 points for him now. 47-28, back to a 19-point lead. Bounce to Marvin Cox at the timeline. Throws it across to Jaden Cox. Behind him in the left wing to Nora. Up top to Marvin Cox down the lane, trying to take on Turbiatis. Turbiatis was backpedaling. His body goes up in the air, but sailing high and falls on the floor there. He kind of smiling as he hit the hardwood that time. Wasn't quite in position he wanted to be. Gets the foul call. That's his second, 17th foul. They're going to say he was in shooting motion that time, Marvin Cox. Cox is 2 for 4 from the charity stripe. Again, all 6 of his points here in the third quarter. 47-28. 19-point Eagle lead with 23.9 seconds left, third quarter. Cox will get 2 here. He's made his last 2 free throws here in the second half. Oh, in and out. I don't know. No, that was the 7th Eagle foul there, so missed the free throw. Got a big battle for the rebound on the right block, and Body's getting a little bit testy there, as it was Hodge going chest to chest with R.J. Nora. That was the 17th foul on the Eagles, so that was a one-on-one bonus situation. And waiting to see what they call. They called a jump ball, which will be Hobbs basketball. 18.7 left, full court pressure defense for the Wildcats. They got 3 defenders in the backcourt on 2 guards for the Eagles, Mackey and Pena. Inbounding is Hodge on the right baseline, throws it into Turbiatis, pivots, gives it back to Hodge with 16. Slows it up near the timeline as he brings it across against Torres Pierre. Spin move, Pierre almost got a strip, throws it down the lane to Chisholm, leans and shoots, double clutch, no good. Rebound, Turbiatis fires it off right side of the paint through the hole for 2.
I say that was a nice pass.
Turbiatis 8 points and 4 rebounds, and no chance for a shot at half court for Clovis to end the third quarter. Your Hobbs Eagles up big by 3 touchdowns, 21 points, 49-28 over Clovis. We're back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs Eagles up by 21 over Clovis as we head to the fourth quarter of the semifinals of the district tournament, live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty, friend, Ron Gunner, Max back at the station tonight. Eagles by 21. Top scorers for Clovis so far. Yet to get to double digits, but Jaden Levinshone with 9. 6 apiece for Marvin Cox and R.J. Nora. And for your Hobbs Eagles with 11, Michael Mackey. 8 apiece for Abraham Pena, Peyton Hodge, and Jairus Turbiatis, also with 4 rebounds for him. That sophomore coming off the bench doing some damage against the Wildcats so far. 49-28 your score. Last quarter of the possible season here for Clovis, unless they can get back in this one. Trying to get their punch ticket to Carlsbad this coming Saturday. The inbound comes in and touch right back to the inbounder, Jones. Sends it to the left baseline to Gooden. Pass to the free throw line. Weaving through traffic is Torres Pierre. Throws up a shot off the left of the rim. Underneath the hoop for the rebound is Chisholm, his second. Throws it ahead to a breaking Pena. Goes the rack. High arching layup right side, no good. Long rebound for Marvin Cox on the near side, his 8th board. Throws it across the timeline, right side to Torres Pierre. Double team to the right wing to Gooden. Tries to get it low to Cox on the right block. Stripped in the lane by Hodge. Turnover number 16 for Clovis. Goes to the rack. Misses a scoop shot on the left. No good. Hodge tries to tip it back up on the right side. It doesn't drop. Mackey takes a shot from the right elbow. It won't go through. Everybody trying to get involved on that last play. Long rebound and dribbling to the other end is Cox, but taken away for Mackey. He tries to take it to the hoop right to left. And they got a triple team on him. He gets pushed. And a foul. So back and forth turnovers both ways. They get the foul call on Torres Pierre, his second. That'll be the 16th foul against the Wildcats. Kind of getting sloppy here in the fourth quarter, Ron.
We expected to see that, too, especially since, usually teams just exchange the ball back and forth. It's usually quick. It usually comes up to nothing as far as points.
Eagles outscored Clovis 14-13 in the third. The inbound to Chisholm. Misses the shot, gets his own rebound to glass again, and he can't get it to go up. A couple of rebounds that time for Chisholm. And then sends it out to Hodge on the left wing. Comes down the lane, high arching shot at the front of the rim, no good. And Marvin Cox pulls it down underneath the hoop for the Wildcats. That's his 9th of the game. Up ahead to the right block to Gutierrez, little push shot and scores through the net. Gutierrez with his first bucket of the game. And it's 49-30 Eagles. 6:48 left in the contest. Mackey quickly in the front court off the dribble on the right wing. He's guarded by Jones. Backs it out to the timeline, waiting for a screen is Archaback. They're going to call a body foul. They'll charge that one to Nora, his first. 17th foul on the Wildcats, and Mackey happy to oblige him on that one. Gets a chance for a couple of bonus free throws. Eagles are 7 of 14 from the line for 50%. Mackey with the majority of those free throw opportunities so far. He is 5 of 7 from the line and has 11 points. Just 1 point in that third quarter. Again, averaging 23.5 a game. Tops in the 5A in New Mexico. First shot is up and swish for Mackey. He's got 12 now, leading the Eagles.
You were talking about the fact that teams have been struggling this year as far as points, and that is true for the girls. And Portales versus Levington, right now it is 33-23. Portales in the lead at the end of the third.
That is the semifinals of their district tournament. Second shot for Mackey up and good. He's got 13. He's made his last 3 free throws. Hobbs back up with tying their biggest lead at 21. Inbound to the far side, and Torres Pierre tries to dribble through 2 defenders, Mackey and Hodge on the far left sideline of the front court. They're going to call that on Mackey. That'll be his second, 18th foul. Bonus both ways down for both teams here. And that will put Torres Pierre on the line, who's yet to shoot a free throw. Pena will return as Pena will step out for the Eagles substitution. Clovis 6 of 9 from the charity stripe so far. 66%. First shot for Torres Pierre off the back of the rim. High in the air for the rebound underneath the hoop is Pena. That's his third. Sends it across to Hodge on the right wing front court. Stop and go to Mackey in the right corner. They're going to say Mackey stepped on the sideline behind him there on the right, and they're going to call that a turnover. That'll be the 11th of the game for the Eagles compared to 16 for Clovis. Hobbs up by 21. Lots of teams in action tonight in district tournaments. Try to give you a little bit of the scenario in the post-game show tonight, how that's going to all hopefully work out. Torres Pierre at the timeline, throws it across to Gutierrez, back door to Champ Gooden, goes to the rack, high off the glass and scores, and a foul. Gooden's only 4th point of the ball game, though, as he's hit hard as he goes up high with that one. And for the Eagles, that'll be their 19th foul, as they'll get that one against Chris Archaback. That's his 4th. Turbiatis will check in for Archaback quickly. No wait time on that for Coach Reeves to get the sub going.
No, that was a sharply planned play for Clovis. They haven't had too many this game, and that one looked like it was on point.
So Gooden's going to make it a three-point play if he makes this one and does. Gooden now with 5 points. Another sub going to come on this time for Clovis, and that will be R.J. Nora for Champ Gooden, who exits with 5 points. 51-33, 18-point Eagle lead. Turbiatis gets the inbound far right, back deep to Hodge. 2-1-2 trap for Clovis. Aaron throw over the head of Pena to the Taskervich band on the near left sideline, out of bounds. That'll be 12 turnovers now for the Eagles. Clock at 6:11 remaining in the fourth. 51-33, Hobbs over Clovis. Semifinals here on the line at Tasker. Jones will inbound back to Torres Pierre, guarded by Hodge. Gets around him to the top of the arc, down the lane right, slings it down right corner to Cox. To the right wing, to Jones. Slides right to the baseline. Underneath the hoop, one-hand bounce pass to Gutierrez left corner. Wide open three, in and out, no good. Tipped up to the free throw line, and Mackey with his 11th rebound, a double-double. Goes to the rack, high off the left side glass, and scores on the layup. 15 now for Mackey, 15 points and 11 rebounds. 20-point Eagle lead. Long pass down the right side of the lane to Gooden. He's fouled from behind. I think he might have given that off at the last second there to Cox. He was the one that got fouled on the play. And that'll be charged to Chisholm, his 4th. So Chris Archibald and Jordan Chisholm both with 4 apiece on the foul situation. That's the 10th on the Eagles. First free throw's up and good. Cox, he's got 7 points now. He is 3 of 6 from the charity stripe for 50%. Now this is a kid that came into the contest for the Wildcats, averaging 8.2 a game. So he definitely can score some points. Double digits against the Eagles earlier. Second shot, no good off the front of the rim. Hodge with his 3rd rebound. Gets around Gutierrez, sends it up top to Mackey, front court, down left corner Costa. Quick pass down the lane, but right to J.J. Jones. So that's a turnover for the Eagles. They're 13. Throws it down the lane at the other end to Gutierrez, who lays it in with a scoop on the right. Gutierrez with his 4th point, all coming in this 4th quarter. 53-36, down to 17. 3-on-2, it's a Costa going to the rack on the right side after a pass, and lays it on the right end.
Nice floating touch.
His first bucket of the ball game. 9 scores down for the Eagles. They lead by 19. Here comes Gutierrez weaving through traffic. No look pass to the left wing. Hippity hop down the lane. Lefty layup, and Nora scores quickly with the first step. He's got 8. 55-38. Still 17-point lead. Mackey slings it across the timeline to Turbiatis. 2-on-2. Dribbles middle of the paint to a Costa right corner. Fakes a shot. Dribbles up top instead. Pivoting, looking for help. Gives it off to Pena at the timeline. Cross court left to Hodge. Spots up a tray, air ball, and rolls out to the Hobbs Eagle bench on the left baseline, out of bounds. Clovis fans are chanting air ball right now, but the scoreboard's got a 17-point Eagle lead.
I know, that is an air ball that they cannot get past. But, you know, on both sides, we were just seeing in this 4th quarter that both Hobbs and Clovis were shooting well, but that last shot was a little off, unfortunately. Of course, these things happen when you try to shoot for 3.
We'll take a quick break. Timeout on the court. Hobbs 55, Clovis 38. Back in 30. Don't miss more action here on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs Eagles leading by 17 over Clovis, 55-38. As Hobbs and the Wildcats battling here in the semifinals of the district tournament. Of course, the Wildcats getting an upset win on Tuesday night by 4 over Roswell, trailing most of the ball game, and got 11 more points than the Coyotes did in the 4th to put that game in the books. Wildcats hitting 10 trays in that game, 11 for Roswell. But tonight only 2 trays so far for the purple and white.
Yeah, Clovis was down 64-58 at the beginning of the 4th and came back strong.
In the front court, the Wildcats, Gutierrez getting a handoff from Cox, throws it off to the right wing to Gooden. Couple of dribbles and stops, back to Gutierrez, top of the circle, comes right with it, backs it out. Uses up his dribble, Hodges out there defensively, sends it left wing to Gooden. Drives the right side of the lane, tries a hook shot, rejected by Mackey. 2-on-2, drives the middle of the paint, goes high out the right glass with a finger roll off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound for the Wildcats by Cox, his 11th. Down the court to Gutierrez in the left block, pivoting against Pena. Sends it left wing to Jones. To the free throw line off the dribble. Shot from the right elbow, hard off the back of the rim. Chased underneath the hoop, though, by Gooden, his first rebound. Pivoting on the left block. Kick out left wing to Jones for three and swishes it. Jones with his first bucket of the ball game. He's got three. That's the third tray for Clovis compared to 6 for the Eagles. 55-41. It's the closest it's been in the second half. 14 now. Hobbs up. Mackey gets a handoff in the front court, top of the arc, over to Pena right wing. Uses up his dribble to Turbiatas, top of the circle. Fakes a pass left, goes right again. Instead to Hodge, drives the right side of the paint, scoop shot and score off the right glass. Going quickly to the hole that time was Hodge. Hodge now with 10, double digits and 3 rebounds. 57-41. Bad pass across the timeline, picked off by Hodge. Turnover number 17 for Clovis. Goes the rack to the same side on the right and lays in it with another finger roll. That's Hodge now back-to-back. He's got 12. 59-41, quickly back up to 18 lead. Gutierrez throws it across the timeline, up top to Cox. Backdoor, lean shot for Gooden on the right block is fouled. Got bodied up. Mackey and Turbiatas that are there applying the defense. And it'll be Mackey to pick up the foul, his third. And that will be for the 11th team foul for the Eagles. Already double bonus the rest of the game. And that will send Champ Gooden to the line, who is 1 for 1 from the charity stripe coming earlier here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was a bad foul, but unfortunately, fortunately for Hobbs, it's only going to count for 2.
First free throw's up and good for Gooden. He'll get one more. Champ Gooden is averaging 12.5 points in the series in the previous 2 games against the Eagles, and tonight all the way down to 6. So he's less than half of the average against Hobbs. He had 22 in their first game at home, though. First free throw up and good, or making the only free throw up and good. He's got 7 now. Starting to move up in the scoring column. 9 points for Levenshone, 8 for R.J. Nora to lead Clovis, 15 for Mackey, and a bunch of guys with 8 for the Eagles. A 3 on the way, air ball for Hodge on the left wing. Long rebound, a transition dribble in the front court is Nora right side, trips in the lane, and they're going to say an Eagle got a foot on him. Is Mackey putting his hands up in protest along with his teammate there, Chris Archibald. They thought the drive was just over the top of their feet. Now the official calling a push foul, and that's going to be a 5, number 5 on Chris Archibald. That's why the crowd's reacting right now. They're not happy campers. They're at Tasker. 5th foul on Archibald. He'll exit with 3 points on a tray and 5 rebounds. That'll also be the 12th team foul against the Eagles, and will send R.J. Nord to the line. He's perfect, 4 for 4, and has 8 points. Second leading scorer at this point for the Wildcats.
And he put it out on the line out there. Unfortunately, he did foul out, but hey, he did his best, and that's all you can count on.
16-point Eagle lead and a brick off the back of the rim for Nora. He'll get one more, though. Clock at 2:58 left in the fourth, 59-43 Eagles. And one more shot for R.J. Nora. 5 seniors on this team for Clovis. And the Eagles, of course, with just 3 on the roster right now. So they got a little bit of an advantage, a couple more seniors. Second shot up and good for Nora now with 9 points, tying up Jaden Levenshone. Quick substitution coming in. Khalil Torres-Pierre returns. Is taking a seat as Jaden Cox, a sophomore. Inbounding on the right base, Nick Pena over to left side, Pena, back to Pena. It's a 2-1-2 trap, gives it back to Pena left wing. Fires across the timeline to Chisholm right corner, back to Pena on the right wing. Backs it out to the far sideline. Up top to Mackey with 2:45 remaining. He'll spot up an NBA 3 off the back of the rim. Not sure you needed that one. Ball chased down the left corner. Trying to get it is Caden Hall. He fumbles it out of bounds. Is getting a hand on Khalil Torres-Pierre. It'll be Clovis basketball.
You know, some coaches like, even when you're in the lead, they still like you to play like you're behind and still play with that urgency.
Sub coming in the game for the Wildcats. Champ Gooden returns. The inbound to Torres-Pierre with 2:38 remaining. Comes across the timeline, crossover against Mackey left wing. Mackey sliding right with him, not giving up any ground. Flicks it back behind him to Jones, top of the circle. Over to left wing to Gooden. Gooden up top, 3 on the way for Torres-Pierre, and sinks it. Pierre now with 2 trays in the ball game. He's got 6 points and 4 trays now for the Wildcats. Down to a 12-point margin. Eagles still up by double digits, but a timeout of the court for the Wildcats. 2:25 left, fourth quarter. Hobbs 59, Clovis 47. Back in 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs Eagles leading by 12, 59-47. With Clovis on the comeback after getting a tray seconds ago from Khalil Torres-Pierre. So 59-47 your score after a Clovis timeout. They've got one timeout remaining. The Eagles have two. And I don't know how conservative you can be here, Ron. I mean, you can try to run some clock, but if you don't get crisp passes, you don't want to give up a chance for turnovers either.
Exactly, and we've seen these type of games turn and 10 points be scored in a matter of just seconds.
Hobbs basketball in the backcourt, get it into Chisholm on the near side. Cross court right to Pena, crossover move now in the front court against Torres-Pierre. Picked up a double team momentarily, got away from that. Pivoting, bad pass to the near sideline and a whistle underneath. Guess they got a timeout there. Pena threw just an errant pass to the near sideline. Miscalculated where his teammate was. It sailed out of bounds, but they're going to say a whistle before that happened. So Hobbs will retain possession. A 12-point lead with 2:15 remaining here in the fourth. Again, the berth for the district tournament championship for Saturday night, 6 o'clock in Carlsbad. They've got a few days rest, getting ready for that big final game. Of course, the Eagles losing by 17 in their last game of the regular season last Friday night, and a lot worse here at Tasker by 29. So I'm sure Coach Reed's been looking at video and talking to his team. Probably want to make sure they get the win here first, but still looking ahead and trying to knock off a team that's ranked 9th on the Max Preps poll.
Yeah, and they've got They've got a huge winning streak going on right now. I believe 11 is what they've got, and they've just been a terror against Hobbs. And even with the fact that they haven't scored as many points as Hobbs had in this district, it has still been something that Hobbs has not been able to get through. For whatever reason, they just seem to lack in shooting skills. Their shots just do not even fall close. They hit the rim, yeah, that's good, but they don't fall in, and they aren't able to get the rebounds that they need to. So Hobbs just getting one and done points, while Carlsbad is just getting a little bit more chances at the basket.
Hobbs came into this game tonight averaging 60.2 points a contest and giving up 59.2. So 1 point better on the offense versus what they're giving up on defense. That's kind of getting tight there. Clovis, on the other hand, was even closer. 55.7 a game they average offensively and giving up 55.3, so only 0.4 difference there. Offense in the plus column. 59-47 the score right now. Your Eagles, they're just about a bucket away from getting their average in scoring this season at 59. 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. Mackey has the ball at the timeline after the inbound. Sends it over the right wing to Pena. They are going to run some clock. A 2-2-1 zone, it looks like, kind of adjusting to Pena. Cross court left to Hodge. Hodge will take a few dribbles up to the three-point arc. One-hand bounce pass, dangerous, back to the base, to the mid-stripe. Mackey loses the ball as he jumps in the air with it. Picked up by Hodge. Double team against him. Eagles losing the basketball. And we got another timeout possibly, maybe a foul. No, a foul call on the far right sideline. The Eagles dodging a bullet, getting sloppy out there near the timeline. You don't want to give up turnovers that close to layup territory. As they call the foul against Clovis, that will be the 18th foul, so that'll put Hodge on the line to shoot the bonus. We'll see who they call that one against. It looks like they're charging that to J.J. Jones, his second. Hodge on the line, yet to shoot a free throw yet in this game. And bounces off the rim, no good. Pulled down underneath the hoop for Jones. That's his fourth rebound. Gives it off to the far side of Gutierrez, beating Hodge across the time stripe, down the paint, flicks underneath, going up strong with the double clutch, missing. This push shot is good, and rebound for Hodge on the far sideline right, his fourth board. 1:28 remaining, dribbles across, bounce pass to Hall, wide open on the right block, misses an easy jumper on the right base, going to the hoop that time on the glass, and it goes off and a rebound for Clovis underneath and a foul. The Eagles shoving there and get the foul on Hall, kind of a desperation after missing that push shot near the hoop. That'll be the first on Hall, the 13th team foul, and the march to the other end for Clovis for the double bonus. That will put J.J. Jones on the line, who is 0 for 1 from the charity stripe.
And that's going to be a little frustrating for Hall. He was alone and uncontested. All he had to do was just put it up, and unfortunately he put it up a little too hard and ended up fouling after that. And now we're in double bonus for Clovis for the rest of this game, which is not very much. 1:23 left in this game.
First free throw was up and good for Jones. He's got 4 points now. Second shot is up and swish. He's got 5. 59-49, a 10-point ball game with 1:23 remaining. Hodge dribbles up quickly on the far sideline, now in the front court. On the right wing, a double team against him. Bounce pass back deep to Mackey. Swing it left to Pena. Down to Chisholm in the left corner. Top of the arc to Mackey. Gets held as he tries to go to the lane hard. wrap around his waist that time for Clovis was R.J. Nora. And putting on the safety belt and the foul. Nora's going to get his second. And that will be the 19th foul, make it the 10th against Clovis, and Mackey on the line.
Yeah, R.J. Nora bumped into Mackey. Luckily, it wasn't too hard of a shot for both of them because they could have gotten injured, and that's definitely not something that either one of them would have looked forward to.
Mackey 7 of 9 tonight from the charity stripe, makes his first one there. He'll get one more on the double bonus. 16 points now for Michael Mackey. He leads the team in scoring. Also leads the game in scoring as well. Top scorer for Clovis with just 9. 2 players at least. Second shot for Mackey off the back of the rim, no good. Pulled down on the right block for Marvin Cox, his 12th rebound. Sends it to the time stripe to Gutierrez to bring it across with 1:05. Back deep to Jones, hands off to Gutierrez, swing it back to Jones, right wing, a 3 on the way, blocked by Mackey and pulled down by Hodge. Hodge will throw it across the timeline, a helium shot to the near side of Mackey, able to bring it down. Cross court right to Acosta. To the right sideline, gives it back to Pena right behind him at the scores table. They're going to call the and that'll send the Eagles back for a double bonus, this time Brian Acosta.
We're going to have 3 substitutions from Clovis and 1 for Hobbs after this first free throw.
Called it on Marvin Cox, his second. Costa yet to shoot a free throw in this game. He is 44% this season and swishes the first one there. Brian Acosta now with 3 points, all coming in this fourth quarter. As you mentioned, subs coming in. Nick Pena, Turbiatas out there, Lehman. Brand new player on the court, Jaime Cano steps on, getting his first action tonight.
Got an update from Eunice. It is a final. Eunice wins just by 1 by a squeaker, 56-55 over Tatum. That is the boys' game.
Boy, exciting one in Lee County. Of course, the district tournament action going on there. One more shot for Acosta with a 12-point Eagle lead. Shots up, in and out, rimming out for Acosta, no good. And pulled down for Clovis in transition off the rebound is Nora. 5 boards, goes to the rack, misses the righty layup. Acosta pulls down the rebound. That's his second of the ball game and sends it across the timeline to Lehman on the right wing. 33 seconds remaining. Back to Acosta, swing it left to Pena. Clovis trying to chase with a 2-3 zone to Acosta far outside right. Near the scores table, dribbles and sends it back over the left side to Cano. Cano back deep with a one-handed opinion at the timeline with 20 seconds. Bounce pass to Lehman on the right wing. The student section chanting, start the bus. Over to Cano left wing, but ripped away in transition. Clovis going to the rack with the right side and laying it up is Cohen Matus, his first bucket. 2 points for him, and the Eagles 14 turnover, 61-51. 10 seconds remaining, or make it 3 seconds remaining, a 10-point lead. Acosta bring it across, and a run out the clock here at Tasker Arena. The Hobbs Eagles with a 10-point win over Clovis in the semis of the district tournament, 61-51. Eagles are now 15-12 overall, as the Wildcats probably end their season at 11-16. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Welcome back to Task Arena, Hobbs Eagle post-game show. The semifinals of the district tournament. Eagles winning by 10 over Clovis, 61-51, as Eagles improved to 15-12 on the season. Clovis will wrap up their season 11-16. Hobbs, of course, going to get their ticket punched to the district tournament championship on Saturday against Carlsbad on the road in Carlsbad at 6 o'clock. Big upset in the girls' ranks, too, in the same district as well, as Clovis upsets Carlsbad tonight in girls basketball.
Yeah, they've been playing them close, or at least the last game they did, but this time around, Clovis comes out with a victory, 25-19. Not a very big scoring game, but still enough for Clovis to be able to get in there. We'd all pretty much thought that it was going to be Hobbs versus Carlsbad this Saturday, but no. Clovis said, wait a minute, we've got something to say about this, and they went ahead and beat Carlsbad. So they'll be here this Saturday at 6 o'clock against our Hobbs Lady Eagles.
Well, let's look at the numbers of this game tonight. Again, the Hobbs squad winning by 10, 61-51 over Clovis. Wildcats failed to get anybody in double digits, but getting close. Two guys getting 9. Jaden Levinshone finishing with 9 points and 2 rebounds. He did have one of the 4 trays of the game for the purple and white. R.J. Nora also finished with 9. And in terms of free throws, he was 5 of 6 from the charity stripe and the second on the rebounds with 5. Dropping down from that, Champ Gooden was 7, kind of a slow night for him. He was 3 for 3 from the line, though, and had 1 rebound. Marvin Cox, very low scoring production for him tonight, 7 points in this ball game, but he did have 12 rebounds, so if he could have got a few more points, he would have a double-double, but more glass than he did scoring in this game. Also had some free throw opportunities. He was 3 of 7 in the contest for the Clovis Wildcats. Other scores in the game, J.J. Jones finishing with 5, 2 for 3 from the line, and 4 rebounds. Khalil Torres-Pierre had 6 on 2 trays, 0 for 1 on the stripe. Manuel Gutierrez had 2 buckets for 4 points. And that looks a couple more guys with 2 apiece. Cohen Matus coming in late for the fourth quarter for a bucket for 2, and Jaden Cox had 2 points and 1 rebound. A total of 9 scores for Clovis in this game. They were 12 of 18 from the charity stripe for 66%, had 17 turnovers, and were out-rebounded 42-28. So Hobbs getting 14 more rebounds in this game. Marvin Cox, the top one for Clovis, though, with 12, 5 for R.J. Nora, and 4 for J.J. Jones. For your Hobbs Eagles, 2 in double digits, Michael Mackey, double-double for him tonight, 16 points, 11 rebounds, and was 8 of 11 from the charity stripe. So again, maybe not his best scoring production of the season, but still racking him up big for the Eagles to get the win. Peyton Hodge coming off the bench for 12 points, had 5 rebounds, also hit a couple of trays in the ball game, and he got a little spark plug going for the Eagles. Also getting 8 points tonight, Abraham Pena. He finished up with a tray. He didn't have the best free throw shooting night, though. He was 1 of 5 from the line, but did have 3 rebounds at the guard position. Jairus Turbiatis coming off the bench, one of the better finishes of the game for the Eagles with 8 points, 4 rebounds. Jordan Chisholm, one of the post players, had 6 points. He was 1 of 2 from the free throw line and had 4 rebounds. Nick Pena, the starter tonight, had a tray for 3 points. Brian Acosta coming off the bench for 3 points, 1 of 2 free throw shooting, and 2 rebounds. Chris Archibald, he had 3 points off a tray and a total of 5 rebounds. Last but not least, Caden Hall with the bucket for 2 and 3 rebounds. Eagles had 9 scores in this game in the final tally. Again, they out-rebounded Clovis 42-28, thanks to 11 rebounds for Mackey to lead the charges, 5 for Peyton Hodge, 5 for Chris Archibald, and 4 apiece for Chisholm and Turbiatis. Eagles were 11 of 21 from the line for 52%. They had 6 trays compared to 4 for Clovis, and they also had 3 less turnovers, 14 versus 17. Eagles finished up the game in the fourth quarter, outscoring the Wildcats 12. Or make that, they were outscored 13-12, I should say, 1 point Wildcat difference there, but the Eagles still winning by 10. And that lead was up by as many as 21, Ron, in the third quarter, and Clovis started whittling away at that, and kind of nail-biting time as we were getting to the fourth.
Well, yeah, it got pretty close in the fourth quarter, as it usually does, but Hobbs stayed focused. They concentrated and did not lose their focus on what they were trying to do, and they brought it back out. It did get back down to a 10-point game, but, hey, you know what? We will take that any day of the week as Hobbs played as a team. They did well, and that's what they need to do, especially against Carlsbad. When they go against them this Saturday, they need to make sure that they play as a team, win as a team, or, as they say, lose as individuals, because the team is going to get there for you.
Well, the Eagles will have Carlsbad Friday night, 6 o'clock. We'll have the pregame show at 5:45. But looking at that matchup, of course, 58-29 was the first win for Carlsbad here at Task Arena. But then Friday night, this past Friday, Eagles losing a little closer, 49-32, a 17-point loss. They were down by 8 at the end of one. It was 24-11 at the halftime score. So Hobbs was outscored 12-7 in the second. Only 7 points scored for Carlsbad in the third compared to 15 for the Eagles, so a 15-7 differential there, which was definitely a good spot. But then they were outscored 18-6, Carlsbad getting plus 12 in the fourth to rack up that win. In terms of point production for Carlsbad, way low on the score total. Damian Perez, I think what he had 30-some points against the Eagles the first time here at Tasker on
like 32,
nine three-pointers in that game, but he only had 10 on Friday night, was 2 for 2. No trays in the contest. Did manage to get about 7 rebounds in that game, but Eagles did a pretty good job of kind of putting a couple guys on him, and even if they're just one, they were getting a good chest look and hip action going on out there outside the perimeter. So he was not even the top scorer with 10. Two other guys were, though. Devin McWright finished with 12 points, 4 rebounds, and Tylen Gonzalez had a double-double. He's one of their big kids at 6'7", 12 points and 10 rebounds, 2 for 2 on the line as well. I think that was the difference maker there. He doesn't have the best touch in the paint, Gonzalez, but he was getting some boards and some more second and third chances. Other guys are getting a chance to get some of the putbacks after he might have missed a few, but we got to do a better job of getting a butt on him underneath the hoop. He's a big football player, 6'7". He's a senior, he's got some experience too. But again, not the best touch, but we could get some more physical damage. Carlsbad, though, good on the free throw line. They were 7 of 8 and had 3 less turnovers, 8 versus 11. So some issues there. Hobbs was out rebounded by 5, 27-22. But those are things that can be fixed. It wasn't a 29-point blowout, but at the same time, that fourth quarter, you got to turn on the screws a little bit. And this is, you want to move yourself up in the seedings. Try to get a win against Carlsbad Saturday night.
Yeah, in the first game for Hobbs, they just were having some terrible shooting problems, especially in the second half. They just could not hit a shot to save their life. Second game, they had it down to 5 points at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden, Carlsbad just came back once, put 10 in a row up against Hobbs, and Hobbs was never able to get back after that almost knockout blow. So, yeah, what they have to do basically is just play as a team, rebound, get some really good shots going on, and, if they can shoot some threes like they did tonight, that would help as well. Of course, if they can get some fouls and get on the free throw line, work on those free throw shots, they say they're better on the road than they are at home. And I do believe that a little bit. If they can get at least a 75% shot percentage on the line, I think they have a good chance of at least getting close to, if not beating Carlsbad, just like Clovis did against the girls just tonight.
Yeah, they had 21 free throw opportunities tonight, made 11 for 52%. So the Eagles get the 61-51 win over Clovis, 15-12 on the season, and they will have the matchup on Saturday night. That'll be against Carlsbad on the road. 5:45 pregame, tip-off at 6. Of course, we'll have the action for you on all of our No Mark broadcasting stations, Cool 95.7 on the radio, on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube Hobbs Sports page, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Before we take off tonight, let's take a look at the sponsors of Hobbs Eagle Hoops throughout the season.
Sure thing. We got Lee County State Bank, Thriftway, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Devon Energy, First American Bank, Eunice Pump and Supply, Lasco Construction, and NFR Pipeline. Thank you very much for all of our sponsors. Without you guys, we would not be able to do this.
Once again, we'll be with you on Saturday night, 5:45, for the Hobbs Eagle District Championship against Carlsbad. I'd like to thank Allison and Jessica Friend for the scoreboard tonight. Max back at the station. For Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend. Have a great rest of a Thursday night.